Right, hey guys, how are we doing? Back on another video from 6, and today we're checking out Indra Otsutsuki is like dummy OP. So Indra is one of the two kids of the Great Sage, is he not? Pretty sure he is. Yeah, Indra and Ashura. So, before I say anything stupid, let's have 6 explain it.
It's important to establish before getting into any sort of discussion with Indra or Ashura which form of Indra and Ashura you're talking about. Since the way I understand it, in the anime, Indra and Ashura in their little filler arc sort of get chalked up to just Naruto and Sasuke clones when in the original manga they
Yeah.
were sort of intended to be more than that. At least even by Obito's original story and then also by Hagoromo. They do share some similarities, obviously, since they are the original Naruto and Sasuke or
I mean, that's
Hashirama
what they
and
get.
Madara. But even the difference
They're
between
reincarnated
Hashirama and
from
Naruto
them,
or
aren't they?
Madara and Sasuke,
Yeah, so like, oh no, I can't remember which one's which, but if Indra is the one with the Sharingan, then I would assume that's what Sasuke was reincarnated from, and then Ashura is anyway.
should let you know that these guys are not just carbon copies of Naruto and
No, they're
Sasuke
not the
just
same
from
people.
1,000 years in the past. Indra has Sasuke's Mangekyo pattern, which isn't true to the manga, and Ashura is using the Rasengan, which, to our knowledge, was not created until maybe up to 1,000 years later,
That's
whenever Minato originally did
yeah.
it.
What?
But
Okay.
I'm going
Yeah,
to be
yeah, yeah.
sticking
That's
mainly
mad.
to the manga with this video in
The
specific,
original source
and maybe
material.
I'll bring up some data books or guide statements later. But those data books and whatnot are not really too important at discussing this topic of just how strong Indra was. Now, obviously, since Indra only fights Ashura, it's natural that
Got
we need to get a general idea of how strong Ashura was as well, which I'll be going over in the video.
yes. Like if he's got no other fights, then all right.
But before that, if you could, since this took a lot, Indra and Ashura are only in the manga for like realistically 2 chapters, but there's a lot of information on them in those two
That we get
chapters.
given around
Took
it,
a
right?
lot. I
Okay, cool.
appreciate subscription or a like on the video. But yeah, we can just get started. Indra and Ashura were born in what Hagoromo describes the most extreme difference between no talent and talent.
Wow.
That means, in Indra's the side of talent, obviously. That means that the difference between Naruto and Sasuke and how talented Sasuke was compared to how much of a dunce Naruto was, even with Kurama like nerfing Naruto's chakra control, Indra had a way bigger lead on Ashura than Sasuke did on
Naruto,
Naruto.
right,
And
right.
then Hagoromo sort of implies in this sentence, like unironically implies that Indra might have had like all the talent. Like Indra
Oh,
could
and
have just kept
well, Astra just had nothing. He's basically saying, yeah, one of my sons was a complete failure.
going up infinitely or something like that. He talks about how the Indra
I found that
was
quite funny.
special. He recognized he was special and different. So because he was different, he just went off on his own. Blah 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 blah. Similar to Sasuke, but a lot different because he could actually be on his own.
It
Sasuke
wasn't.
more walked a darker path and
Yeah, Sasuke was in search of power to become stronger to reach his goal, wasn't he?
sided with people than just being truly alone. At least up until when he got his Mangekyo and he started, killing off his teammates and whatnot. But still, Indra was more like that from the beginning. It's not really implied that Indra was like a homicidal maniac the same way Sasuke was. It's more so just implied that he just wanted to be alone and just was alone.
Okay.
Now, we do know that at some point in his life, Indra awakened the Mangekyo. I think in the anime, they make it seem like he killed one of his best friends or something like
To
that.
get it.
I think there's a different implication in the manga, but I'll go over that a little bit later. Now, Ashura, on the other hand, he was just weak, like Naruto. And then Hagoromo says to catch up to Indra, he basically had to team up with tons of people. So like Ashura's team, whatever you want to call it, Team Ashura, was the same power as just Indra on his own. And then
Wow.
through training, Ashura eventually became as strong as Indra, even before Hagoromo ended up giving him his power. Now, when Hagoromo did give Ashura his power, we do know, or at least is heavily implied by what we see on this one manga panel, that Ashura had awakened Six Path Sage Mode.
Right, okay.
Now, the data books don't list Ashura as a user of Six Path Sage Mode. The only user of Six Path Sage Mode listed is Naruto, but we see Ashura with True Seeker orbs, which we know are attributed to either Six Path Sage Mode or being a Jubi Jinchuriki. Ashura being a Jubi Jinchuriki is extremely unlikely, especially considering the fact that we see him inside of this like three-headed avatar, and he looks just the same way as he does normally. And then on top of that, this avatar more so resembles Kurama, like a little Kurama avatar, rather than, you know, a Jubi or something like that. And Jubi Jinchuriki have never been shown to ever manifest some type of weird Kurama avatar. Madara never showed it. Obito never showed it.
True, they didn't.
Kaguya definitely never showed it. She more turned into like a rabbit or something like that. So I'm not going to say that Indra was a Jubi Jinchuriki, but him having Six Path Sage Mode is definitely not out of the question.
It's hinted
now,
at.
I did mention how Ashura maybe had a little Kurama avatar, and I do think that even if he wasn't a Nine Tails Jinchuriki, I think that maybe Ashura siphoned some of Kurama's power to fight Indra. Because this avatar, like, just look at it side by side, it looks almost identical to the Kurama avatar.
It's very similar.
But maybe since Kurama was a baby at the time, it's just resembling baby Kurama instead of adult Kurama, like the one Naruto has. I'm not going to make the claim that it is adult Kurama or baby Kurama, sorry. But I'm just saying, it looks extremely similar, and he's supposed to be like Naruto #1, so maybe it is.
Oh, he's so cute.
Now, unless you think this panel is a perspective shot, Indra's Susanoo is gigantic because it
does seem the head does seem to just be the same size.
Little three-headed avatar. Ashura's three-headed avatar in this panel is only as big as
it could be smaller
of Indra's Susanoo.
Then it could be that small,
which would get me into when I think Indra eventually awakened his Mangekyo. So the way Indra's Mangekyo looks in the manga is sort of like this swirly pattern or whatever. We get to see it whenever Obito first talks about them. So the way I think he awakened his Mangekyo in the manga is probably a feeling of betrayal after Hagoromo gave all of his power to Ashura.
Yeah.
And then he just awakened his Mangekyo,
just
and then they started
really
fighting.
mad. Rage
because
boost.
Otherwise, Indra shouldn't have been able to match Ashura at all in this fight whatsoever, because Ashura got as strong as Indra, and then on top of that, got Hagoromo's power. And then with getting Hagoromo's power, allegedly and probably got Six Path Sage Mode. So there's no way that just Indra could keep up with Ashura after getting all those amps.
That's a lot of amps.
If they were truly equal before. Now you could say, oh, Hagoromo was just capping. When he says rivaled Indra, he just meant like a little bit, like Ashura was 51% Indra's power, but he could still fight with him a little bit because of abilities or something like that. However, that's not really implied anywhere in the text. I couldn't find any implications of that, so I'm not going to go with that interpretation. I'm just going to go with the fact that I think Indra, after Ashura got Hagoromo's power, and we know that he was not happy about that decision. That decision literally created all the reincarnates and basically wrote the story. We know he's not happy with that decision.
Yeah, it created the ongoing rivalries between the reincarnations in it. There was always going to be like conflict.
That's when he awakened his Mangekyo, and at that point he was able to match Ashura a little bit. From what we know about the Ashura and Indra reincarnates, we know that the Ashura one normally wins, so I wouldn't put stock into Indra beating Ashura there. Just more so he was able to like fight with him, and then Ashura ended up just beating him the same way the other ones went. Like we saw with Madara and Hashirama. Hashirama was fighting with Madara, then just ended up beating him. Naruto was fighting with Sasuke, just ended up beating him, ending the cycle of hatred. So I think it's far more probable that Indra and Ashura were just fighting, and then Ashura ended up taking Indra out, just eventually somewhere during the fight, whatever. Now, to talk about where Indra more than likely caps at, we do get like a direct statement from Hagoromo that I think, anyway, really implies where Indra caps at. Now, what he does say implies Indra was weaker than one-eyed Jubi Madara. However, there's another interpretation of said statement, but I'll go over both of them. I do think that by the time I'm done going over both, you'll agree with me that he's probably just weaker than Madara. So what Hagoromo says is that Madara now, after becoming the Jubi Jinchuriki, is no longer Indra's reincarnate, and he is trying to attain power close to Hagoromo and then eventually get up to Kaguya's level.
Damn.
And we know that that's true. We know that Madara is eventually trying to do what Kaguya did or whatever. So the way Hagoromo words it there with, he's not Indra's reincarnate because he's trying to get power like me or power like Kaguya, it implies that one-eyed Madara now is stronger than wherever Indra capped at in the past.
Right, okay, yeah.
Now, the alternate interpretation of this would be just saying that he's no longer Indra's reincarnate because two Indra reincarnates cannot exist at the same time, or Indra's
interesting, because you've got Madara and Hashirama there, and you've got Naruto and Sasuke. How does it mess up with, because their spirits are going to be there, aren't they? So, yeah.
Chakra, soul, whatever, can't possess two bodies at the same time. And Sasuke, at this point we're talking about, is currently still alive, and he was alive and fought alive Madara with Sage Mode. So he could be talking about that, or maybe even giving the implication that the Ten Tails is a stronger possession type than Indra's chakra. So maybe the Ten Tails is also stronger than Indra in that way. I just think it's far more likely, with the way that Hagoromo was describing things, that he is just telling you that Indra was not as strong as Jubi Madara or as strong as Hagoromo, and just that, that's sort of where he caps out at.
Yeah.
Indra being weaker than Madara is not really an issue because the only people we know can get up to Madara's level at this point is Hagoromo. Hagoromo says himself he's a little bit stronger than one-eyed Madara pre-God Tree. And then we know Naruto and Sasuke, after talking to Hagoromo, can eventually overpower Madara. Now, the implication there would sort of lead you to believe that, without explanation anyway, Hagoromo is lying about being close in power to Madara. But people forget that after Hagoromo gives Naruto and Sasuke his chakra, he gives them ways to amp that chakra, or at least he gives Naruto a way to amp that chakra. He gave Naruto his chakra, and then Naruto got 6-pass Sage Mode on top of the chakra that Hagoromo gave him, right? So it's like Naruto got Hagoromo's chakra, say it's half, and then he got Sage Mode, which 6-pass Sage Mode, let's say bare minimum 10 times amp because of the curse mark. So it's more like Naruto became like 5 times Hagoromo, which is why he was able to overpower Jubi Madara so easily in his base 6-pass Sage Mode. And then Sasuke, after getting Hagoromo's chakra, he not only got Hashirama cells injected directly into him by Kabuto, he got Hashirama's chakra directly handed to him by Hashirama.
Damn.
Sasuke's awakening of the Rinnegan, it might not have even been due to Hagoromo's influence. Because we do know Madara also put Hashirama cells in his body, or he put Hashirama cells on his body, whatever. And then eventually it came to be a Rinnegan. At first, nothing happened. Same with Sasuke. At first, when Hashirama gave Sasuke chakra, nothing happened. But whenever he got close to death, the Rinnegan awakened. That's what Madara says. And it's the same thing with Sasuke. Whenever Sasuke was close to death, we know this. Whenever Sasuke is close to death, his Rinnegan awakened. We also know that them awakening had nothing to do with the power Hagoromo gave them, because Hagoromo tells Naruto he can't do anything about the fact that he's in like this near death state that's completely up to the people outside who can revive him. So the same would be true for Sasuke. So Hagoromo didn't revive either of them. He just gave them power, and then their friends happened to revive them before that. So that's probably how they both got their powers, and it's not really a contradiction that Hagoromo says, "Oh, I'm near Jubimato's power," and then giving Naruto and Sasuke power, they can kind of just overpower him. So, in a bit of a conclusion, Indra is probably stronger than all the versions of Hashirama and Madara we saw up to Jubi Madara.
Yeah.
And he's likely stronger than all the versions of Naruto and Sasuke before they obtain their six path power.
Powers, yeah.
I don't think that Indra is as strong as, say, Hagoromo at almost any point, except maybe after Hagoromo split all of the Biju and then eventually died. But I wouldn't see any implication that Indra could get anything over that. He's definitely like an Akatsuki soloer, man. He can beat the Sannin type guy. Like, he's that level of power, which isn't even unreasonable if you really think about it. Like, he's supposed to be more talented than Sasuke and then more powerful than any version of Madara pre-Ten Tails. So, I mean, it's not really too outlandish to assume or to think that Indra is just that guy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he was the original that guy. He started the Uchiha clan and all that. So just to wrap this up, that's probably where Indra caps at. I kind of want to do another video on like maybe if Indra and Ashura will reincarnate again, because we know they reincarnated due to just like eternal conflict, and then that resulted or ended with Naruto and Sasuke.
Yeah.
So then, like, going forward, will the Naruto and Sasuke
Naruto, when they die,
reincarnations be a thing, or will it be Indra and Ashura again? I don't know. I think it's a pretty interesting discussion. I might do
that
a
is an
video
interesting
in the future. But yeah, other than that, have a nice day.
That is an interesting topic to bring up. Like, what would happen next? Yeah, because the cycle's over. So then, do people get reincarnated as Sasuke and Naruto? Fun video. Oh, and I'm really looking forward to if you've not heard, it's gonna be epic. Six, Seth, and Swag are all doing a podcast together soon, and I can't wait for that. That's gonna be sick. I don't know if they've settled on a name yet, but anyway. Thank you to my patrons. If you want to have your name at the end of every video I upload, link in the description to the Patreon page. $1 a month is all I ask for the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you guys very much for that. Thank you all for watching. What did you guys think of that? What did you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave comments down below. Let me know what I should watch and discuss in future videos, and I'll see you guys next time.